This time here, Yerushalmi Pesachim. The article is we're on Daf Nun Ches Amud Aleph. We are the fifth line down, Tamat Ninon, which in the Vilna is on Mem Tes Amud Beis, the eighth line down. Tamat Ninon. We went over there. Nit Mushiorel, talk about Mincha. If the Shiraim had become Tomei, if the Shiraim had become burnt. And here it says in the Vilna Avdu with Ayin. So the things that should be Nevdu. They were lost. I don't know if actually maybe somebody could correct that. Let's check the art scroll. He just changed it to Avdu with an Aleph. It's the same idea. It's interesting, yesterday we changed, there was the word Pesach, which we changed to Pesach with a Saf. That is in the Shinui Schos, but this ayin changed it to Aleph from Avdu with an ayin to Avdu with an Aleph is not in the Shinui Schos. In any event, so the Shiraim became Tameh, were burnt or got lost. Kamidas Rabbi Lezer Kshera, Kamidas Rabbi Shua Psula. According to Rabbi Lezer, it's kosher. According to Rabbi Yehoshua, it is Puzzle says the Korban we say let's remember Korbanos dam ava bishem basar. So he says by Korbanos you do blood, the blood work, even though there's no flesh. It's ava bishem shiraim. So to buy mincha you can do the aktoros akoymetz, which is similar, the tantamount to zrika sadam. Even though there's no shiraim, because there be shua damar ain basar ain dam. There's no flesh, there's no blood. Im ein dam ein basar, no blood, there's no flesh. The same thing was with the menachos. Shelo b'kli sharis. So the Korban says shelo kiddush kometz a kli sharis. They didn't put the komets into a kli sharis. The chilas mincha at the beginning of the mincha. Locally, nobody disagrees with kliyama being a keli, and you require a keli kedan perek shtei lechem. But if you didn't put the komets in a kli sharis. So psula. So Tanakama says it's possible. Rabbi Shmuel machshir. Rabbi Shmuel says it's kosher. You don't komets does not be put into a kli sharis. Hita comes to pamayim kshera. If you you put the komets on the mizbeach in two installments, right? So then it's kosher. Okay, this is as Korban says, Kopam hiktim maxis komtzon. They put a little bit, it's still kosher. Okay, it says Gemara, Al Daita Rabbi Lezer, according to Rabbi Lezer, Im ein dam, ein basar, alpha bisha ein basar yesh dam. So the Gemara says, you know what, that, not like the Korban said before, that it's actually, if there doesn't have to be a basar. If there is no blood, there's no basar. But if even there is no basar, there is dam. Okay, so I'm not sure what the Korban said what he said before. If the Gemara is about to say not that way, so name it im ein kometz ein shiraim, and similarly, if according to the Lezer, if there's no kometz, there's no shiraim, but abishay shiraim yesh kometz, right? Adaita Rabbi Shua, Rabbi Shua, ein dam, ein basar, ein dam. Rabbi Shua, no, there's no blood, there's no meat. If there's no meat, there's no blood. I mean, kometz ain't shiraim. There's no kometz, there's no shiraim. It made shiraim ain't kometz. Now, there's a question here implied, which the Korban explains, but it's not explicit in Gemara. In the Mishnah Halacha Dal, it said that the chamisha dvarim boim betuma ve'ein echolim betuma. There are 5 things which come betuma, even though they can't be eaten. Homer shtei lechem lechem aponim. So they mean the omer shtei lechem lechem aponim, even though they're tamei, there's no shiraim. You can't eat them. That seems to contradict the next Mishnah, Halacha Hey, our Mishnah, says where by midashim enoken abishnigma basar v'achelev kaim zorgesam. You need to have at least either the basar or the chelev. By Korban basically need there's basar silly, but other mikdash you have to need either basar or the chelev. So the Reish is going to be lesser. They can do you do the mincha even though there's no shiraim, there's no teeth. The same thing is going to grab Yehoshua. that says that no, there's got to be some basar. Let's say now in the Korban Edom. Tipater. Mishnah saying that now, Omer v'shtei lechem. Our Mishnah said, Omer v'shtei lechem boim betuma. Avgav shein shiraim. Even though it's shiraim, why shein tzitz matzah achilos? Tzitz does not help us with eating. Shein shiraim, which is the shein shiraim. Only works matzah. It only works for that which goes on top of the mizbeach. That all the kometz goes in the kometz. Imurim and iktarim, and imurim which we brought on the mizbeach, which was an animal korban, v'lo basar, not on the meat to be eaten. Afilachi b'ayim betuma. Nevertheless, the minchas ha'emer comes betuma. Shema min adam afa b'shem basar kometz ab'shem shiraim. Rebbe Lezer says, like looks in the Rebbe Lezer says, dama b'shem basar kometz afa b'shem shiraim. Yet. The kasha ratio, kasha is difficult because of that's halacha dal, because of the sefer kasha ratio. Rebbe Lezer sefer Yeshua, but the sefer Yeshua not need my basar chel kaim zorkastam, only if you have chel extant. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Bun, Rabbi Yechon, Rabbi Yisrael Bun, Rabbi Yisrael said, Rabbi Yechon, down with the train, Mod Rabbi Shushim of a zorkastam. I'm sure it's B'shua concedes that if you did the zrika, but the evidence okay. So that which you need to have the chelev kayam is the chatchila, but the evid you're yotze. So therefore, the reish of the first mishnah can also be Yeshua. So of course, by korban yachid we wouldn't do it, but the evid the chatchila. Korban yachid would say that. There's no shiraim. There's no basar or chalev. Can't do it. But a korban tzibor, which is the topic of halacha daled, the mission of halacha daled, since korban tzibor, it's as if it's already with the heaven, I guess we would say. So therefore, it's a situation with the heaven, and therefore, even the chatchila rely on the b'diavad, and we allow you to do the korban tzibor. According to Yeshua, when there's no choice, nothing to eat, in a pinch, we'll let you get away with it, and we'll let you do the rely on the shim ara zarkas dam shehurtza. The takon the rabbanan not, because obviously normally it's clear but the rabbanans, the takon the rabbanan not to bring the korban if there's no chele basar shiraim, does not apply korban tzibor, and you can bring it betuma. That's Korban. It says Rabbi Nami, Rabbi Yoshua. Okay. Says by the way, it's talking about Chatchil the Evid. I think it's Pashut that you can find that in Art Scroll. There's a long paragraph about that, how the Evid becomes Chatchil when it comes to Korban Tzibur. Okay, look above. Nidma Kol Rubo. If the majority of the call becomes tamei, or shukayim tameim, or koyim or tamei, but call tar and the call is tar, yasu betuma. Then you do the tuma hitchel b'tzibur. You can do the korban pesach betuma. Need my miuta call, minority of the call is tamei. Hatar mosim rishon. Then people are tar do pesach rishon. Vatmei mosim sheni, and the tamei go to pesach sheni. And here we are introduced the concept of pesach sheni. So says Gemara, Montana Rov, who says he got the majority, and the Korban explains on the Rov Tzibor, Vafilu in Rov Shvatim, the majority of the congregation, even though it's not the majority of the tribes have Ruba, that's still to be a Rov. It's Rei Meir. The Tani we learned Rei Meir Omer, who machzis kol Shvatim. It doesn't matter if it's only half of the Shvatim, machzis kol shevet shevet, or half in each and every shevet and shevet, or bilvad Rov, as long as it's the majority of the Tzibor. Now that, as the Korban says, he's talking about She'erov Hatzibur doesn't be in parallel davar. We're talking about the bull which is brought in the event that the Sanhedrin made a mistake, but the parameters of Rov there by parallel tzibur are the same parameters which apply to Korban Pesach. He says half of each and every shevet uvad Rov. As long as they're majority, which we just said, but he adds shvatim shleimim. If you have a shevet sholim, shevet echad goreh kol shvatim. Then one shevet compels all the other shvatim. As Korban says, Chatzi Shevet Kol Shevet Shevet Hu the Main Shevet Rov Atzibur. Abel Shevet Shalem Sheshover Heroes Basin Kol Shevet Shevet Maybe Par Shevet Echad Gorer as Kulam. The one Shevet can drag all of them. Now the next Gemara has a significant errors here. According to the Korban Eidah and the Mechal HaMayim, we're going to go with the Korban Eidah as slightly modified by the Mechal HaMayim. If you look in the article, also he does a lot of this major changing based on the Korban Eidah. So, starting inside, then going to the Korban Eidah, Meir Kol Shvat and Kriyan Kol. Meir says all the Shvat and Kol together. Now going to the Korban Eidah, Rabbi Yehuda Meir Kol Shevet Shevet Ikre Kol. Rabbi Yehuda says every Shevet is Kol. Asa Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Yehuda goes to Rabbi Shimon. Come on, Rabbi Shimon, Kol Shevet Ikre Kol. So Rabbi Shimon says each Shevet is Kol. Kain Rabbi Yehuda Omer Kol Shevet Kol. So to Rabbi Yehuda says each Shevet is called a Kol. Now, the next line should be what the Gemara says. What's the difference between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon? The difference is Greira. Whether one Shevet can drag all the other Shvatim. Okay, so then it should say not the words which we have, which the Korban and the article both take out. Those words we take out. So, and we already said the following words: Aser Rabbi Shimon. The Shimon Kol Shevet Kori Kol. Can you do Mer Kol Shevet Kori Kol? Again, that's the Korban Eidah's fix. Now again, we say Manav B'nei and Greira, and then we say what's the nafkamina between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Shimon Greira, and Afagav Rabbi Yehuda Actually, let's go put I think a couple other words here. Yes, the Korban Mechama article put in the words here. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Shevet Echad Goreh Kol Shvatim. It says one Shevet includes all the Shvatim and drags along all the Shvatim. Shimon ain't Shevet Echad Goreh Kol Shvatim. The Shimon says they do not. Okay, that's further in the. Okay, yes, the Mechal HaMayim reversed the order. First putting Rabbi Yehuda, then Rabbi Shimon, and the first puts Rabbi Shimon, then Rabbi Yehuda. But the name, it's like the Korban says, "V'cheinu Mesilas Horios v'hi Girsa Anechona." V'achi Perusha. We're going to read the Korban Further. The Pli Hosam, they argue there. Rabbi Yehuda Mer Shiva Shvatim Shechatu. The 7 Shvatim sin. Mevin Shiva Parim. They bring 7 parim. B'sharko Shvatim Kol Shevet Par. Each Shevet brings also par. Shemer Shmona parim. No, only 8. Shiva LaShiva Shvatim. Parach LaBeisin. One pair LaBeisin. Not the other 5. The Kamar the Ika Beinayu Greira, that the nafkamina is Greira, whether the Shvatim which are chayte drag along the other Shvatim which were not chayte. Now Rebbe takes a step further over here. He says Shevet Echad Goreh Kol Shvatim. So that Gemara says Afagav the Rabbi Yehuda Omer Shevet Echad Goreh Kol Shvatim Mod even though he says one Shevet can drag all the Shvatim Modu Shetei Ra B'lish Kasagozis. He concedes that the Ra has to come out from the main Sanhedrin, not the Sanhedrin of the specific Shevet. Rabbi Yosef said, "Time of the Tanya." The reason for this this statement of the Tana is that the pasuk min haMokom asher yivchar Hashem. From the place of Baruch Hu chose, that's where the Hora has to emerge from. Okay, so where does Rabbi Yehuda get this idea that one Shevet can go where the other Shvatim? My time the Rabbi Yehuda. So it seems what he's saying is that Nislach L'Kol, everybody requires Slicha, even though only one Adas, one Eidah, and each Shevet is called Eidah by itself, according to Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Yehuda, even though only one Eidah has been Chayte, all of them is on these Slicha, so therefore it's Goreh everybody. Ma'amakayin time of Rabbi Shimon time. My time of Shimon. What is Rabbi Shimon's source for saying no? There's no grade. It says kilachol hamishkaga. No, the entire nation only brings if the entire nation was mishkaga, right? If all the if there's no consagrera of individual shvatim and gorim, have to have a chol am. And the question is, of course, rove, whether rove is the same as kol. But in any event, kol am mishkaga, at least the rove had to be chayt. There's no grera. That's the fact. Rabbi Shimon Shita is to have most of the call was chayte by like absolute census numbers. So in each Rebbe Shevet, he does say each Rebbe Shevet does bring the korban because it's a chol. It's a chol am bishkaga. It's a more hurrius. Mamakar Shimon time Rabbi. So what does Rabbi Shimon do with the pasuk Rabbi? So even though it's Nisachal Das B'nai Yisrael, it has to be people included in Ada, people included in a minion, right? So that Pradla Nashim Uktanim, who are not called Ada, that's not included in a minion. Ma Makayim to the time of Rabbi Shimon, to Rabbi Yehuda, the time of Shimon, so you do the pasuk of Shimon. L'chol am b'shkaga, what is it with that pasuk? Prat l'shchilasa b'zad l'misova shkaga. It has to be the totality of the Maisa has to be in Shkaga. There should be no mazed aspect to it. So at the first they started sinning with mazed, and then Basin came found a justification for the sin, and now they became b'shoigeg. Doesn't that there's no then they have to be karbanos zichidim. There's no para im halev davar shel tzibor. That's the way they started. They weren't relying on the raw Basin. Rabbi Avun. B'shem Rabbi Binyamin Bar Levi says, we have a pasuk which indicates each Rebbe Sheba is called a call. A very well-known limud from Bracious, because it says that HaKadosh Baruch told Yaakov Avinu, Goy ukahal goyim yemi meka. A goy, a nation, and a call of goyim is called will come for you. At this point, Vadayin lo. Here we have one of the classic cases where the Yerushalmi spells Vadayin with an aleph. Vadayin, the article just changes it. Vadayin lo Binyamin, and Binyamin is not yet born, and it's only be referencing Binyamin, so it must be that even one shevet is called a kohol. No, he leaves the aleph intact. Okay, so the Gemara says, Amar Bechir Babar. Bechir said, Babar said, Kashem shein chalukin kan, just say the argue here by Palim Davar. Kachim looking betuma. So do they argue by tuma? Bar sugya Pesach Haba betuma. The time we learned tzibur chetzim torim chetzim tmeim. What if the tzibur is precisely half and half tummy and half tar? Okay, it's an extraordinarily hypothetical case, but yes, hatorim must say Mr. Rishon and tmeim Mr. Sheni. The torim do Pesach Rishon and tmeim do Pesach Sheni. Divi Rabbi Meir. That's Rabbi Meir's opinion. Okay, so most unfortunately, the next line change Rabbi Yehuda to Rabbi Shimon, and it's based on the Sefta. Rabbi Shimon Omer, Rabbi Shimon says, Hatorim Mosim Atzmam, Vatmei Mos Atzmam. The Torah may do themselves, and the Tmei do for themselves. So the Rabbi Meir had said that the term do first Rishon, do Rishon, Tmei do the Sheni. Rabbi Shimon says no, they divide up. The term do by themselves, and Tmei do themselves on Pesach Rishon. Amalei said to him, no, it can't be. Ain't a Pesach B'chatzoyim. The Pesach does not come in halves. Okulam yasu b'tar, okulam yasu b'tuma. Either all do b'tara, all do b'tuma. Okay. Manu Amrlo, who's the? So there are two different gersos in the answer. There's one of the gersos in the word itself, which is Rabbi Yehuda. It's Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Yehuda is the one who says that Enabetz B'chatzoin. There's another gersa in the Leiden. Emmanuel is Rabbi Meir, and it's according to that gersa, the Gemara is going to ask contradiction now from Rabbi Meir on Rabbi Meir. So from the following Brisa, which we see, but so either it's going the first gersa is like supposed to be like Rabbi Yehuda, and it's like in the following brisa we're going to see, or it says Krei Meir, and it's a contradiction from the following brisa which we're going to see. Okay, so let's learn like it says in the Svarim at least first. Manu Amalek Rabbi Yehuda, who's going like Rabbi Yehuda. The Tzina Taman we learned over there. Nidim is achas min achalos. So this is the one of the chalos of the Shtei Alechem on Shavuos. Or echad min astorim. So the or one of the storim, one of the six, the two stacks of six of the lechem upon him. So Rabbi Yehuda name Yetzu Beis HaSeifa. They both have to be burnt. She'ein korban tzibur chaluk, because ain't korban tzibur chaluk. Very similar to what you just said, and that you can't do chatzoin, right? Chachamim say no. Tamei b'tumasa v'ator yochal. The tamei remains tamei, and the Torah you can eat because you can divide the chatzoin. That's if you learn that the Gemara is coming to bring a raya to Rabbi Yehuda says ain't korban tzibur chaluk. That's he told Rabbi Shimon. You're wrong. You can't divide up. Okay, if you hold like the Leiden, there's a contradiction here. So then, actually, we're asking a question by us. Our mayor says that the Torah may do Pesach Rishon and it may do Pesach Sheni. So it sounds like he holds that ain't korban tzibur chaluk. Yet here he says that hatamei b'tumasa v'toyochel. So how do you reconcile the two? So according to this, the next line is actually an answer. We said Mani Amrlo, who's the Amrlo in our Mishnah in the Mishnah in say it's a Mishnah. So who's that? Who's the Chacham in the Mishnah? Chacham Shem Shitas Remeir. It's Chacham who are B'Shitas Remeir, but it's not Remeir himself, because the mayor holds that the korban tzibur is chaluk, but this is these Chachamim hold like Rabbi Meir that to turn into Pesach Rishon and the main do Pesach Sheni, but they don't hold of the Meir in the aspect of that Hatami b'Tumasa Tor Yochel. According to the other Meforshim, and by the way, now I see actually it's actually the Brisa, not a Mishnah, but according to the I see Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky says the Brisa. So the other Meforshim who don't change before Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Meir, they have to change here Rabbi Meir Rabbi Yehuda. So they have to say Manu Amrullah Chachamim Shem Shita Kashita, and Rabbi Yosef Rabbi is saying, even though it seems superfluous. They're saying, well, I guess another statement to the same effect. Rabbi Yosef said, Manu Amrullah Chachamim, Manu Amrullah, who's the Amrullah Chachamim Shem Kashitas Rabbi Yehuda. We like the sheet of Rabbi Yehuda, that in korban tzibur chaluk, as we said. So this to sum up, either you change it for Rabbi Yehuda and Meir, and you leave this here like Rabbi Meir, or you change, you leave before Rabbi Yehuda to you leave before Rabbi Yehuda as is, and here you change Rabbi Meir to Rabbi Yehuda. Something's got to give on either side of the sugya. All right, that brings us to Amud Aleph, and therefore we'll that's a new thing. I'll die to Rabbi Meir, so we'll stop here for today.